Today we are discussing about the application of psychology. How to apply psychology in daily life. That we are talking. Basically, in two methods we can apply psychology in daily living: experimental method and systematic observation. These two methods are we can use. Mainly in experimental method we can apply certain theories to the life, and in systematic observation means we observing a different personality persons, and in that we coming a conclusion, or we observing a peer group and we coming a conclusion is called systematic observation. First we talk about the experimental method. Effect of experimental method changes with the behavior, because in each persons that we applying the experiments, in each persons it is different. Whenever we searching for the anxiety, some questionnaires we are making and we apply for the different persons. Person by person their anxiety level is different, and we are placing some variables for observing the experimental method. In experimental method we are placing some variables. Some are dependent variables, some are independent variables. We have two groups also, control group and experiment. In control group we are giving a different observation method or different variable, and that in experimental group we are giving another, and we want to compare it by the statistical studies. We want to compare it. It's like a research. Mainly the experimental method is like a research. In systematic observation, the other thing we are discussing is systematic observation. Systematic observation is mainly structured objective method and watching and recording specific behavior, because the mainly the we are observation, mainly this method will be using in our daily life in physiotherapy field, because we want to observe if patient is, if the patient is coming, we want to do some observation, some objective assessments, then we want to study something from them, specific behavior, what is the his specific behavior, we want to study that. After that also, if he is panic, then we want to give intensity instead of that, otherwise he will scream. Okay, then systematic observation is a very good method for a psychological analysis. A psychologist as well as a medical practitioner want to do that systematic observation. Systematic, but mainly we are studied about what, psychology in physiotherapy. Psychology in physiotherapy, in that we want to study about the, mainly we want to study about the behavior of human and animal behavior. Okay, we want to study human and animal behavior is called psychology. In that, how to study the application of psychology is very difficult. There are some other methods, more methods for applicating psychology, mainly experimental and systematic method. In experimental method we have to put some variables for applying things. Based on these variables we want to observe the groups. We will find some groups, the randomly we will find some groups, and the one group is control group or one group is experimental group. Then each group we will find what is happening in the each group, and we will do some observations based on the variables. But in systematic observation, we study about what, we will systemically observing. In our daily life, physiotherapists mainly doing the systematic observation, because we want to do assessment is based on the systematic observation of the patient. It's systematic observation in different types. Mainly it has lot of objectives. For systematic observation. We will talk systematic observation mainly in different class. We took systematic observation in different class. Experimental method we will do today. In experimental method, mainly we watching about that variables. Variables. What is variables? Variables is how to find a mainly what objective you want to, if we are doing something called anxiety, we will add that anxiety as a variable point. In control group, how to apply the variable anxiety, how to calculate the anxiety, some measuring scales are there that we will apply. In control group also we will apply that method. In experiment group also we will apply that method and it will compare. Okay, that variables we will do. Some selective methods are all there. It is nearly good for mainly, it's mainly research purpose. This experimental method is very useful in psychology. But in systematic method, in day to day our assessment life, we will use systematic method. Systematic method has a lot of steps: observation, subjective, objective, analysis, recording, and all things we have. And we have to conclude by the systematic observation, we have to control it. Control the what all things our patients are doing, or how to patients will approach a exercise, how to approach this, to the society, how to approach, how to do exercise in daily life. That all things we want to know. By the systematic observation and the psychological health of the patient, we want to know. After that, we want to apply these all things. Okay, today's class is understandable, and tomorrow we will come with a new topic. Please subscribe this channel, and if you want more videos, you should press the bell icon.